watching a lot of people consume this content for the first time, and usually the only thing they'll know is just the offensive parts.
They didn't have the gift that we had of just going in and accepting it for what it was.
They know that Robert Downey Jr. is doing blackface.
Right.
And for a lot of people, that's what kept them away from the movie.
It is one of the cardinal sins of filmmaking nowadays.
You're back.
Welcome to Cinematics Problematics, where we celebrate your guilty pleasures. I'm Chrissy Reddig.
And I am Erin Maxwell. And today, ladies and gentlemen, come back with me. Come back to 2008, a godless time. But it also allowed for the release of Tropic Thunder, arguably one of the funniest Hollywood satires ever made in the history of film. Damn it. It is a Hollywood parody disguised as a war movie, disguised as a total production meltdown, disguised as a comedy. It follows a group of wildly unqualified, painfully self-important actors who think they're shooting a gritty Vietnam epic, but they're actually dumped into a real jungle as they slowly realize that all of the explosions, all of the bullets, and all of the kidnappings are actually real. It is unapologetic. It is offensive. It is wildly inappropriate. It is fearless, and it proves why every film should have Bill Hader in it, and it is an absolute genius of a film. However, every few years, writer, director, and star Ben Stiller finds himself defending the movie amid social media outrage cycles that are often fueled by influencers or social media outlets or just media people eager to manufacture controversy just for clicks. And what happens is that it begins a cycle where people either don't watch the film, don't appreciate the film, or don't understand the film, attack the film for two very specific reasons. He has never made any apologies for the film, and nor should he. Nor has anybody else, and they should never make any apologies for the film. So today we're going to discuss why this film consistently comes under attack, and no one involved should ever make any apologies, and why we like it or love it. It is directed by Ben Stiller, who also wrote it with Justin Theroux, and he stars as Tug Speedman. It also stars the great Robert Downey Jr. as Kirk Lazarus, Jack Black as Jeff Portnoy, Jay Baruchel. Did I destroy that?
No, you're fine.
Okay, as Kevin Sadowski, whose name for some reason I got that right. Brendan T. Jackson is Al Pacino, and the terrifyingly hirsute Tom Cruise as Les Grossman. Chrissy, tell me about the first time you watched this film.
Oh, man. So I saw the trailer, and sometimes with trailers, I'm just like, oh, that looks like just so silly. I'll just like wait for that one or something, Like I didn't see it in the theater, unfortunately, and I really kick myself nowadays for not having seen it in the theater. I saw it on video, and I believe I watched it by myself, and I was howling. I was laughing so hard. I could not believe, because the film opens with fake movie trailers, and it's like a cold open, right? And it just goes into like these fake movie. You're like, wait, what is this? Because like you go in and you're like, wait, are they showing trailers for this? And then you realize, oh, this is the movie. And first of all, the opening trailers are
Pacino's.
Yes. Oh yeah. It starts out with booty sweat. The booty sweat video.
It starts out with booty sweat and busting up bar.
Right. And then it goes into, I don't remember the exact order.
Okay, it starts off with that, and then it goes into Scorcher.
7. Oh yeah, and then like the Frozen Scorcher with the two babies.
Yeah, with the two babies. And then it goes straight into the Fatties Part 2.
Yeah.
And then Satan's Alley.
Satan's Alley was probably my favorite, just because of like the Tobey Maguire cameo and the Enya playing in the background. It's just, is that Enya? No, it's Gregorian chant. It's like Gregorian, but we know that song.
Yeah, that's Gregorian chanting music.
Yeah, house Gregorian chant, and then it goes into I believe it's Universal logo.
Yeah,
and then the movie starts. I mean, thank God they had those trailers in the background, because it pretty much threw down exactly what this movie was going to be. Like they're saying, we are going to make fun of literally everybody. We just made fun of fat people. We just made fun of we just made fun of gay priests. And then it's going to go into Tropic Thunder, but that's not where it ends. It's like you would think that that would be like the peak. No, 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 no. But despite all of like the politically incorrect aspects of the film, you still can't help but laugh your ass off. Like it is like one of the best comedies, period, I think that I've seen. Definitely one of the best comedies of the 21st century for sure. And they don't make them like this anymore. I don't think you can make them like this anymore. I'm not sure whether that's a good or a bad thing because I think this movie is brilliant, but I do think that today's audiences are probably a little bit too online, a little bit too binary in their thinking to appreciate something like this that would get made today.
So to prepare for this,
Yes.
and even before this, because a lot of what I watch is the content that I like to consume is reaction videos. I love reaction videos, specifically of younger movie audiences watching movies for the first time. And the reason is because if you watch someone long enough, you watch someone that has never watched a movie, someone that is watching something like Apocalypse Now and their first reaction to it, and you watch them grow as a film goer. And then eventually they get more posters behind them. They start talking about their favorite cinematographer, and they really develop and become someone that enjoys film. And I love that evolution.
Mhm.
And so watching a lot of people consume this content for the first time, not knowing either going in completely blind or knowing just the bare minimum, and usually only the only thing they'll know is just the offensive parts.
Mhm.
Because for whatever reason, that is what this movie is known for.
Mhm.
It's not really, people don't realize how funny it is. They just know it's offensive.
Right. And I think that like that definitely colors like their perception of the film, right? It's like you
Right.
watch it, they like right now they're probably watching it out of curiosity because they heard how offensive it is and they watch it and they didn't have the gift that we had of just going in and accepting it for what it was.
A lot of them do because they just don't know. And
Mhm.
they know that like Robert Downey Jr. is doing blackface.
Right.
And that's almost exclusively what they know for the most part.
Mhm.
And for a lot of people, that's keeping them away. That's what kept them away from the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is like one of the cardinal sins of
Right.
filmmaking nowadays.
And then watching them be wind over, one of the quotes I kept hearing was, he's too good. He's doing too good of a job to hurt my feelings. Is the number one comment I heard most of.
You know what? And I think that that speaks to kind of like the power of this film and how well made it is, right? Is that nowadays there are a lot of people who just will not watch this film just because of what you just said, right? Like
Right.
of, because of they'll stay away because it's too painful. And I get that. But even though like he does a phenomenal job. He was nominated for an Oscar for this. Well
Well
deserved.
deserved.
um, but I still don't think that this would never get greenlit. Like you cannot do this today. You can't make this movie.
And I
Like
wouldn't
it
want
is
anybody
a
to try
landmine. Like
because
you try to describe what you want to do.
I don't think it'll be that funny if anybody tries. It's got to be Ben Stiller. It's got to
Yeah.
be this group of people. It's got to be this group of writers. It's got to
Yeah.
be Justin Theroux writing it. It's got to be Ben Stiller writing it. It's got to be Ben Stiller behind the camera. It's got to be this exact situation. If it's not, then I don't want it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if people know how to do these types of comedies as well as Ben Stiller does. He's just got like a serious knack for like the super over the top comedy. I mean, this is a satire of, I mean, in my opinion, it's a satire of Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
And the ridiculousness of Hollywood.
That's what it is. It's not what a lot of people, when they were offended by the blackface that's going on, and what they fail to realize is that what makes blackface so offensive is that it's a satire of a group of people.
Right.
And that's not what this is. This is a
Right.
satire of actors,
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah.
self-indulgent bullshit actors.
Yeah, and like the machinations of Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
Of like, the temperamental director who doesn't know what he's doing, and the agent who's like up his client's ass all the time, will do anything for him.
Mhm.
And it is the irate Hollywood producer who's modeled after Harvey Weinstein, most likely. And it is the egotistical action star who wants an Oscar. And it's the method actor. And it's it has a commentary on so much stuff. I mean, it is poking fun at Hollywood and probably Vietnam War films in the process, like just, those tropes that you find in those films, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a shame that if people can't watch this movie and find joy in it and look and try to think about what the film is trying to say instead of just seeing blackface or simple Jack or anything like that and saying bad. This
Right.
means it's bad. And I think it's very easy you're trying not to laugh thinking about
Because I know I'm just thinking of Simple Jack, and I'm like, oh my God. I haven't even thought of Simple Jack
I
yet.
can't
That's
stop
so
laughing
good.
thinking about this movie. It's okay, let's get to it. Oh, do you have any, first of all, before we get to the sins, do you have anything else that you want to preface
Yeah,
with?
I just want to say when I was like going through like reaction videos, there was like literally 5 main parts every reaction video person was like really just going for.
Mhm.
And that was Robert Downey Jr.'s overall acting was always very much key, and always everybody was very impressed with it.
Yeah.
The use of the hard R in the
Mhm.
and I'm going to say the full retard scene. It was like
Yeah.
never go full retard because
Right. You can't not, yeah, I
you
mean,
can't not say
we
that
have to
scene
talk
because
about it. Yeah.
anything you're saying the hard R the entire time is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Particularly the scene between Al Pacino and Kirk Lazarus, or when his Aussie persona is starting to
Mhm.
shine through
Yeah.
and he's starting to get offended. He's like, woman lost a kid. True story. And then he
Oh my
grabs
God.
him mid fist and pulls him into him when he tries to punch him and calls him times as for 400 years.
Yeah. He's like, for 400 years, that word has kept us down.
There isn't a single person alive that didn't lose their shit over that scene,
I
including me.
forgot about that scene, and when he starts saying it, I was laughing so fucking hard.
That just holding him, and then he starts quoting the Jeffersons, and he's just like, "You lost your mind."
But that's the beauty of it. It's like a commentary on a commentary and a commentary, right? It's like this
Yeah,
Australian dude taking black stereotypes, taking the theme from the Jeffersons and saying it as if it's truth. And that's all he can pull from because that's all he knew, right? It's
yeah.
because there's a lack of black representation. And so this Australian actor's talking. I'm sorry.
No,
We should,
don't apologize. It's true.
it's so good. Okay, wait.
And then the final one was the eureka moment everybody seemed to have at one point when they realized it was Tom Cruise.
Oh, I can't believe people didn't know that. Like, to me, it's like obvious it's Tom Cruise, but he's transformed, obviously. And I think that the thing that got me was I had like a whole new respect for the fact that he took it there. That
Yeah.
he was like, I'm Tom Cruise and he like shaped this character. And he, like, I'm sure he has experience. I mean, I don't know how much experience he actually has, like, with people yelling at him. I don't think people yell at Tom Cruise, even in 2008. Like, I don't think that happens, right? But he probably saw other producers yell at other people, and he knows these people intimately and knew exactly who this guy was. And he seems like he's having a fucking blast.
I've seen interviews where he said that this was the most fun role he's ever had in his entire career.
It
And
seems
it
like
seemed
it.
that way.
Yeah. I was having fun with him. Like, it seemed like he was just like let off the leash and they just kind of like let him do whatever. And it was fucking glorious.
The I will fuck you up scene.
I will fuck you up.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck you up. Find out who that is.
Oh, it's so good. Okay.
Anything, yeah.
Okay, let's go on to the sins. Let's knock out the big ones. We've already started talking about one of them.
All right.
Okay.
So
There's many. There are so many sins. There's so many. But okay. Let's
each actor I feel represents a sin.
okay.
We can go it that way. At least there are several ways that we could approach this. So we've got the blackface.
Yes.
Again, there's the one point where I think Al Pacino says like they had the one good black role and they gave it to the white guy.
Yes. Well, I mean, this is the thing though. Okay. So part of the reason why I think they get away with blackface, I mean, obviously, aside from Robert Downey Jr. just nailing the fuck out of this, is the fact that they address it directly.
Yeah.
right? So you have Al Pacino's character, who is a rapper, pop star, who did Booty Sweat. Sorry. And he's put into kind of like a secondary role while like the white method actor is given a pigmentation operation to play a black man instead of just giving the role to a black man.
Correct.
Right. And like he straight out calls it out and thinks that what Robert Downey Jr. is doing is offensive, and the way he's speaking is offensive. And even though they know that they're in this real life situation, he's not breaking character at all. So they're not only making fun of, they're calling out the injustice of that, of the injustice of like the lack of representation by handing this role to a white man do blackface essentially. But they're also kind of making fun of method actors at the same time, you know, and
Yeah.
their commitment to the craft and how ridiculous it can be. So the film is saying, yes, we know we're doing this. Like, we are fully aware of what we're doing. And that is partially why it kind of works. I mean, it works a lot, if I'm being honest, but I think that's part of kind of fleshing out this overarching theme of the ridiculousness of Hollywood. And that's just that's just one piece of it. Like, I mean, they have like so many references to that throughout the film, but yeah, the blackface, you can still be offended, and I wouldn't begrudge anybody being offended by it, because it is like historically a very painful thing that happened in the past. But I think when it's put in this context of making films in Hollywood and stuff, it makes a bigger point about that and about representation. So for me, I mean, it's hilarious. It's one of the funniest fucking things in the movie, and it works. And I think they brought the point home pretty well.
Yeah. You have Alpha right there, who's offended with the audience every step of the way.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's just as offended, and if not more so,
Yeah.
because it would have been his part.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, Robert Downey Jr., he acted the fuck out of this and ad-libbed most of it, apparently, too.
And held character throughout the DVD.
Just like he said he would.
Just like he said he would. Yeah.
Just like he said he would. It's funny because previously, like, we also did Soul Man. One of our first episodes was Soul Man, the film starring C. Thomas Howell, Ray Don Chong, Leslie Nielsen, and others, where he plays a guy who takes a whole bunch of pigmentation pills to get a scholarship into college. And that's supposed to be kind of like a lovely, heartfelt lesson at the end. This is like not a heartfelt lesson. This is a searing critique of
that movie.
Kinda. They're like, this is actually how you do blackface in a film perfectly. So yeah, do you have anything to add to our blackface conversation?
I feel just like context matters, and intent matters, and history matters. And when you have something like Soul Man, I think that all throws out all the window, and they just kind of did it for a cheap laugh. And there wasn't anybody there to react to it. There wasn't a moral compass. That was almost to a point. And why I know that you kind of like the film.
It's it's not that I kind of like it. I find certain parts of it still kind of funny, but if we accept it as a satire, which I think it is, then I think that you have to look at the intent in a slightly different way. And I don't know if everybody was looking at it that way. That's all I was saying. I think that people should watch it and make their own decision. I think that with Soul Man, it's tonally weird. And so it doesn't really stick the landing, because, you know, you have his friend giving like this impassioned speech about how affirmative action is stupid, basically, like in a nutshell, right before he, you know, has his like redemption arc in front of like James Earl Jones and says, I'm going to build a scholarship. I'm going to do all these things. And he's like learned his lesson because he thinks he's experienced life as a Blackbird. He knows he hasn't, but I mean, that's kind of like the gist. It's like he does learn his lesson, but right before that, it's almost implying that it's trying to have it both ways. And it's weird. So if it was like much of it is satirical, much of it is super over the top and crazy and slapstick, but I just don't think they hit the mark, basically.
Yeah. And I think that with here, everything they got wrong in Soul Man, they got correct here.
Yes.
Because everything was taken into context.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, this is what's ridiculous. This is what Hollywood is trying to do. Like, and we're just going to use this to our benefit. And this is how we make that work.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so well done it used it correctly. And to the
Yes.
point where it's so really, really well done. I am so ready to move on to the hard R.
Okay, moving on to Simple Jack.
Oh,
All
Simple
right,
Jack.
Simple Jack. Okay, so this one's pretty bad. But once again, if you accept that this film is a commentary on Hollywood, which I firmly believe, then it is making fun of those films from like the late 80s through the 90s, through the early aughts, I believe. Actually, no. Like it went beyond that if you go to Theory of Everything.
It
But
started earlier than that too, because it started like in the 60s, like movies like Butterflies Are Free, where it's this kind of like blind kids going out in the city for the first time and things like that. And then it just kept evolving.
well, like the late 80s and 90s was about the Oscar bait role,
Yeah.
right?
And those were Oscar bait roles too. Yeah.
Yeah. But like for some odd reason with Rain Man, you had My Left Foot. Let me see, I have them all written down. You have Forrest Gump, you have Nell. Do you remember Nell?
Oh, I
I am
used to do a hell of a Nell impression.
Didn't we all? Didn't we all? But you have Nell, you have Awakenings, like a Robert De Niro plays somebody who
Sure. Was
had,
in
I
a
think
coma
it's,
for a while and he woke up for a brief amount of time. Yeah.
yeah, but it was like that type of role. It's like I have to play somebody with a disability. But I mean, Eddie Redmayne got away with it a little bit later with A Theory of Everything,
Sure.
playing Stephen Hawking. But most of those roles did get nominated for Oscars. Like
I
most
want
of
to be
them,
clear, Nell did not have a disability. She was raised by a woman with a stroke, and so she just talked weird.
okay. So
I just want to say, because I did an impression of her, I wasn't making fun of someone with a disability.
sure, you weren't making fun of somebody with a disability. Keep telling yourself that.
People may not watch Nell and not understand it. They just like think I'm a jerk, and I'm not. I mean, I am a jerk, but a jerk for a completely different
You're a
reason.
delightful jerk. We both are. We take pleasure in our jerkiness. Okay, so Simple Jack, they make a point of telling us that he was trying to go for an Oscar. Like, this is the type of role that gets you Oscars, right? And we see the
Yeah.
trailer for Simple Jack, and it is just completely over the top. It's very kind of like Of Mice and Men on crack. Like, he's just like, he has this bowl cut, and the teeth are sticking out, and he's acting hard R, for lack of a better term or whatever, and it's extremely exaggerated. It is.
And he has magical abilities. He can talk to animals.
Mm-hmm. This is pretty bad, but once again, it is so over the top, and it is kind of playing into that whole idea of going for the Oscar bait role by playing somebody who's disabled, and that was his really, really, really bad attempt at it,
Right.
and which leads into his conversation with Robert Downey Jr. about how he was just like, I really tried to get into like the skin of this character, and he's talking about how he tried to act.
And the term they use is the full retard scene.
Yes, he says
that is the name of the speech. And
yeah, Robert Downey Jr. says he's like,
apologize for the term if it offends you.
We're just quoting the movie.
We're quoting the movie.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. basically says you never go. He's like, you never go full retard. Like, that's what he says.
Yeah, the sheer amount of times that they say the hard R's makes your ear bleeds and your eyes twitch
while you're probably crying laughing because it's so bad.
And
it's like uncomfortable. It's like discomfort laughing.
Yeah,
it's so bad. It's funny. Like it's one of those instances like where something is so completely offensive that it makes you so uncomfortable that you laugh at it. That's at least the way I describe that very complex emotion.
And when I was watching like people that were watching this for the first time, almost everyone's like, "Oh, well, in 2008 it was probably okay to say." No, it was not.
I don't believe it was. Okay. I think it was already not okay to say that word.
It was not okay. It was not okay. It was bad then. It's bad now.
Yeah.
It was always bad.
And he says it like 6 times.
Yes.
And he calls out some of the films that we talked about or that I just listed.
And he's very clever about it. He's very smart. Yeah. He's all like, what was it? Forrest Gump.
He's like, Forrest Gump.
Nixon won a ping pong tournament.
Played ping pong. Yeah. He's like, not. So he's not full.
He was a war hero.
Goddamn war hero. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh God, we have to stop laughing. Okay.
This
Oh,
is a
all
very
right.
good movie.
It's an excellent movie. We're only on number 2. We're only at Simple Jack. Okay, so Simple Jack, obviously, he is a sin. Like you're right. If like each character kind of embodies a sin, Tug definitely sinned with Simple Jack, even though the Vietnamese warlords loved him.
Yes. It was the only movie that they could afford. Their one and only film. So they've watched it hundreds of times.
You know what? I read on IMDb that they were based on an actual group called God's Army and led by 2 9-year-old brothers who loved really terrible films. So, but yeah, they were from Myanmar, not Vietnam.
Hmm.
So, fun fact. All right. Any other commentary on Simple Jack?
I made it. We got all of my points where it's just basically like the repetition of the slurs aged badly. It's often cited as the movie's most indefensible moment, but it's still pretty funny because of like it just catches you off guard with the
It
amount of times.
it really does. And you have to almost admire in a weird way how fuck it this movie is. It's just like
Yeah.
did not hold back on almost I hope they didn't like on almost anything. And I think that's part of like the charm of it in a way is that it dared to go there but in a really smart way that was a commentary on something else, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So Simple Jack. Are we ready for the next one?
Yeah, I can take Al Pacino, which I would put down as a gay panic.
Yes.
There's the moment around the campfire, and
Mm-hmm.
they're all talking about their dreams and their wishes and what they want for their lives. And it's actually a moment of calm. And Al kind of lets it slip that the love of his life is Lance. And suddenly there's a moment of freaking out
Yeah.
where he
Everybody freaks
denies it,
out.
and everybody freaks out. And it comes from a place that he probably couldn't have a career
Mm-hmm.
selling booty sweat or busting up bars. So I can understand that kind, but the over the top fear
Mm-hmm.
from everybody was a little much.
It was a lot. But I think that was part of the stereotype of kind of like being kind of like a hardcore, rapper or R&B artist that has like a ton of like half naked women like in your videos shaking their booties and everything.
Yeah.
It like screams of like extreme alpha heterosexuality, right? And that's kind of like the image that he has. And that's like the image that he's cultivated. And being gay would have flown in the face of that, not just for himself, but for everybody around him too.
Correct.
I mean, it's not necessarily a commentary on Hollywood, more like maybe show business and stuff about people being closeted and putting on like this tough veneer on the outside and like living a secret life on the outside. There's certain stars that have those rumors going around about them as well, but definitely a little bit of gay panic there. And then the reaction was like a bit much you'd think that some of them would be like a little bit more understanding or something,
Yeah. No,
yeah, but they're not.
no one was really understanding in that moment, but later on they kind of made it up by it being Lance Bass. So I'm
That's
like, is
amazing.
that?
Yes. Yes, we
So,
forgive it because
yeah,
they
everything
they
was
gave him they gave him his love in the end. He was allowed
yeah.
to be who he was. So that's good.
The entirety of Jack Black's character and how he makes his money and how the type of movies that he makes is kind of offensive in a way. I mean, like, I understand that it's a parody of the Eddie Murphy movies and all that, but at the same
Mhm.
time, were those great?
The Nutty Professor was good.
I mean, like, but for society, were they great?
Well, okay. I mean, sure. I guess I haven't watched The Nutty Professor in a long time, but I remember when I saw it, I thought it was adorable. And I thought Eddie Murphy's, I mean, I think he's like a brilliant comedian and he can impersonate almost anybody, but yeah, it was a throwback to that. But it took it to another level by
Right.
making it all about like an entire family of people who are obese and just fart.
And they're called the fatties.
And they're called the fat. I mean, it's very, very on the nose
Yeah.
with that. But once again, looking at it as commentary on Hollywood, I mean, Hollywood has made a killing on movies that have that type of humor, and that degrade people who are overweight. And they've made a killing on it, and that's why they continue to make them for a while. So yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, but I mean, once again, it's like it's trying to take something that is very true, amplifying it times 10, and then they put it in the movie. And so because because I can totally see what they're trying to do, I find it funny, but I can definitely see why people would think it was still offensive.
I don't know what category you would put Matthew McConaughey's son.
Matthew McConaughey's son. Wait, what are you talking about?
Like, is that offensive? Is that not offensive? I felt so bad for the kid.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Anything else about Jack Black or the fatties? Are we offended by anything regarding like his drug use? I mean, I felt like him going through withdrawals was one of the funniest parts of it, even though his
Yeah, I mean,
action
that
is
was
very
one of the,
serious.
it was one of the foulest parts also.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting. But like, I was totally fine with it.
Great. Okay. Next one on my list is the depiction of Vietnamese people. So
Okay.
when I just mentioned that, the poppy growers, the drug cartel, whatever you want to call them, they are based on God's Army, which is a group in Myanmar. And that kind of, it doesn't give the enemy any purpose at all, except for just being evil and in the jungle with guns. It's like very kind of like throwback to like the Viet Cong and stuff and the actual Vietnam. Like all Vietnamese people are doing is just hanging out in the forest and the jungle, ready to shoot some people to protect their drugs. And it kind of treats them as like a little bit interchangeable. Myanmar is not Vietnam. And like we really don't understand, like there's not one nice person. Like the only
Right.
time they kind of get nice is when he's doing his simple jack play for them and he's amusing them.
He gets a little Oscar from his son.
Yeah, right. His son. I have a son now. Yeah. So that part is like a little bit it's very like kind of on the nose in terms of that. But I would also probably argue that a lot of Vietnam War films didn't really give you the perspective of Vietnamese people either. So if it is trying to be a commentary on Vietnam War films and all of the tropes that went into those, are the common threads, that is a common thread. They really didn't spend a ton of time delving into the lives of those people. And so, and this one doesn't either. It just says, this is the other, this is our obstacle that we have to get through. This is the big bad. That is probably a legitimate gripe.
I concur.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I just had one line. I'm like, it's a bad representation of the Vietnamese people. And then I just kind of moved on. But you did a much better job. So yeah.
Oh, thanks. I also have one more. Do you have any more?
I have small little notes, but we went over the bigger grapes. They're just small little things. It's just basically like the way that Hollywood itself is kind of depicted in small ways. I mean, we could talk about like Les Grossman, about how that's kind of depicted, about how his attitude is, and
that's probably the most accurate part of the entire movie.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't think that was an exaggeration at all.
I just wrote no notes.
Nope.
It was pretty damn accurate. Yep. I'm not going to mention where it was or who it was, but Chrissy and I used to work for a company, and we had a person that ran that company. They were very similar. What am I going to say?
I don't know who you're talking about. Anyways, but all of this is to say that whoever Tom Cruise was playing was not a foreign concept in Hollywood, probably still isn't. I mean, it's a caricature, but a pretty fucking accurate one from some of the things I've heard about some film producers in Hollywood. So he does a phenomenal job. This is just some fucking peak Tom Cruise. It's so good. I love that he was like stretching himself with this and that he's just like having such a great time playing this character. And you can tell. And it was just a stroke of genius to have one of the most handsome movie stars, or historically one of the most handsome movie stars ever, playing a hairy, foul-mouthed, bald.
It's the gloves. It was the fake arms and the gloves.
Fake arms are amazing. Like the giant hands, like they look like mitts.
And like we said with Saturday Night Fever, like there's something when he starts dancing.
Yes.
It was so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
I actually didn't know he could dance that well.
at the end of the film, it was like the perfect ending to the
Yeah.
film to have like Les Grossman like just throw on like the hip hop and just start and bust out his necklace and just start dancing by himself.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's such a stroke of genius. Okay.
They should have. There was going to be a Les Grossman movie, and
Yeah,
it never came to fruition. It's very sad.
that is very sad.
I'm so sad about that. It would have been wonderful.
It would have been great. I would have watched the hell out of that. I bet you a lot of people still would watch the Les Grossman one because it's punching up, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that people would totally accept it. So,
It's not too late to work him into the studio.
ooh, oh my God, that's such a good idea.
Because like the studio is like technically part of the player universe. So we've
Right.
already established it as part of a fictional universe. There's no problem just kind of bringing in another fictional universe.
Right. That's true. That's true. No, I am that. Okay. You have the connects. I don't. You need to write
Hey,
Seth Rogen.
22 people that listen to this. Word out.
There are like literally, I think it's like 30. So don't sell us short.
Okay.
So just chill out on that. But yeah, I would watch the hell out of that. It would be incredible. I do want to point out one other thing that I wrote down.
Okay.
Making light of Vietnam in general.
Yes. Okay. So I did have a whole section about just kind of making fun of Vietnam in general. But the thing is like, I kind of deleted that after a while. And the
Okay.
reason is because Cloverleaf never went to Vietnam, as we later discovered. So
That's
it's
not a
like
reason.
fun of Vietnam. He actually never went.
Okay, fine. But I mean, the extreme violence, people having limbs blown off, blood squirting out of heads and stuff. I mean, Vietnam was brutal. And I think that part of the reason why I kept this one up on my list is because I just watched the Vietnam documentary by Ken Burns and heard about all the atrocious. I mean, I knew about a good amount of it, but all the atrocious things that happened in Vietnam and how brutal it was, and like people being dismembered and people. It's like, and so when you go from watching that over Thanksgiving break to this film and you remember all this, it was still kind of fresh in my head. And so I was just like, how do Vietnam vets look at this? Like, do they find this funny at all? You know what I mean? Like people who actually saw this stuff happen, is it too traumatizing for them to see this? Now, the only argument I have for why this is probably okay is that it's more making fun of Vietnam War films than it is making fun of Vietnam because of its focus on Hollywood. Even so, it's like it's pretty bad, and like in terms of like the gruesomeness, like getting hands blown off and like
Yeah.
with the head, and he's like, see, it's fake. It's like, I'm sure people actually saw that shit, you know? So yeah, I do kind of wonder what like veterans and stuff think about that. Maybe a lot of them laugh at it, and that's like they take it as it is, and it's it's an over the top comedy, but maybe they don't. I don't know.
Again, I stand by the Cloverleaf was never actually there, so that's just fall into the parody category.
Okay.
He didn't know, he made it up.
Okay, fine. All right. Any other small things on your list?
My bottom line on this film was that the movie works because it isn't mean-spirited movie. It doesn't mock anything other than itself and the people who are in it. And because it doesn't direct it outwards, it is only inwards. And we love a good self-deprecation.
Yeah.
Depreciation kind of
Yeah.
film. Like,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Anything that kind of does that, we appreciate.
Yeah.
I almost feel like anytime a movie makes fun of something else, if you're not on board with that, you're making fun of something, then it becomes mean.
Mm.
So if if it's making fun of Star Wars, that works if you are on board with that kind of comedy, or if you're not a Star Wars fan. But if that's something you cherish, you may not find that funny,
Right.
because this is so inward with its comedy.
Mm-hmm. It's a movie. It's Hollywood people making fun of Hollywood people.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why it works on every level.
Right.
Because they're not making fun of anybody other than themselves.
Right. If like the film industry hadn't given us a whole bunch of movies about mentally disabled people, or people like, or what they call Oscar bait
Yeah.
roles, like they probably wouldn't have put it in if, there wasn't a problem with like representation and people playing like outside of their race in that whole conversation and everything. Maybe we wouldn't have gotten blackface out of Robert Downey Jr. because he's there to serve as the point about white actors being cast in ethnic roles and not giving those roles to people who are actually that race, like when they're fully available to play those parts.
People being miscast, like comedians being miscast in dramatic roles because they
Yeah.
try to break free
Yeah.
and they don't realize that they're hurting the film
Right.
because
Right.
they had somebody pull a favor.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, and they wouldn't have made the fatties joke if they didn't actually make movies like that,
Yeah.
and they did. They did, and they made tons of money. And he, like I'm sure that Jack Black's character in the film is like very rich
Every
because of
single
those
joke
movies.
rang true. It's all
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
It's all
But
true. It
but
all
those
goes.
movies make money because people who are overweight and obese face a lot of discrimination and they get laughed at, and they have been used in films for comic relief a lot of the time. Like if you watch the John Candy documentary,
Oh my God. I don't want to watch it again. It made me cry the first time.
devastating. Oh my God, he's like the sweetest man alive. I'm so sad he's gone. But they did address that, right? Is like he was being put in specific roles because of his weight,
Yeah.
because it was a punchline, and
And
so
he hated it.
yeah. Yeah. And so Hollywood does do that. And it's not so much that the movie is making fun of overweight people, it's making fun of the fact that it's pointing to the fact that those movies get made, people laugh at them, and they make tons of money. And that sucks, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Do you have any other sins to add to the list?
I think that's it for right now. We pretty much hit all the major points. What
Okay.
about you, my friend?
No, I think that we covered everything. I think that we're ready to check or cherish. I mean, I think it's pretty fucking obvious at this point because we laughed through like
You're
most of
bury
it.
me with this movie.
It's so freaking good. I mean, it
Show
just
it at my funeral to honor me.
And I think that we have to give like a special. I want to give. Okay, we've talked a lot about Robert Downey Jr. being brilliant in this, which he is. Tom Cruise was brilliant in it. I think we have to give a big shout out to Ben Stiller, not only for being a co-writer, not only for directing this film, but also starring in it and making fun of himself.
Yeah.
And making fun of his participation in this whole machine. It's all kind of like very meta. But he kills it. He's great as Tug Speedman, as this like kind of dumb action star who wants to be a better actor but can't do it. It's kind of like in terms of Zoolander, he finally turns left at the end of this film, by getting a good cry in. But he plays like the kind of bumbling, kind of stupid, somewhat overconfident character really well, who has to kind of like find his footing, and he does a great job.
I also want to say, like, Danny McBride,
Yes.
Bill
Yes.
Hader, like everybody in a small role.
Matthew
did a lot.
McConaughey, when he brings the
Matthew
TiVo,
McConaughey.
when he runs into the jungle, he's like, I got the TiVo.
This is like the longest commercial to keep TiVo alive I've ever seen in my entire life.
Dude, when I was rewatching this, I was like, is that how big TiVos were?
Yeah.
I never had a TiVo. I only had a DVR.
I had a TiVo.
Okay.
They were exact size of a VHS.
Wow. Okay. I don't remember them being that big.
Yeah, they were really large.
Okay, that was a total throwback for me. I was like, that's a big package. I didn't like the TiVo. Like, I didn't really. I don't know. We're talking about Matthew McConaughey. Who knows? But yeah, it was a surprise to me. It was a shock.
Yeah. Everybody in a supporting role did just a phenomenal job.
Yes. Yes, they were incredible. And the writing is peak comedy.
Very
I'm
much.
very happy that we have people who are willing to go there, or at least in the past they were. I don't know if we're going to get many more of these. Not in the near future. There might be a pendulum swing, like where people become a little bit less militant, or I don't know. I feel like there's like an entire group of people out there right now who just like to just trash stuff, like, and look for things that are wrong. I'm almost kind of done with like like the award season discourse at this point. I'm just like, I can't like, you can't just sit back and watch a movie anymore. Like, well, I'm not saying that for everybody. A lot of people can't. Some of the loudest voices on the internet can't. And that might be a small minority. Maybe there's like a large portion of people who would still appreciate a movie like this. I just don't know if a movie like this could survive social media nowadays.
Hard to
I don't
tell.
think it could.
Hard to tell.
It's really
At
hard to
least we have
tell.
this. At least we have this.
At least we have this. At least we got to experience it during a time when you could make movies like this, and where people like weren't buried in their phones all the time, and when people had a little bit of nuance to their thinking, a
Yeah.
little bit, you know. But I do think that this one, probably more than like other like potentially problematic films in the past, I think that this one gets a pass probably more than a lot of films do, just because it's so funny and so well done.
It's so well made, so well written, so well directed, and so well acted. That gets
Yeah.
a plus.
And if you are listening to this and you've never seen it and you think you would be offended by some of the things that we have talked about, then don't watch it. But I would encourage anybody to kind of like open their minds a little bit, sit back, relax, accept the movie for what it is. Know going in that it is, as Aaron aptly put it, making fun of itself, and see if you like it and give it a shot. It's a wild, it's like an ab workout. You'll be laughing so hard. It's so good. As you can see, when we started this podcast, I was crying. Because just when I think about certain scenes, I
want to go
can't.
back and watch certain scenes again because they're so good.
I know. I might actually go back and watch certain scenes. I mean, it's just a joy. It is a joy. This film is a joy. It just is trying to make us happy and trying to have fun and trying to poke fun at a ridiculous industry that me and Aaron happen to love, despite all of its problems. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Big fat cherish for me.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Do you have any closing comments?
No. I'm just gonna leave you with words of the wise. Watch some Simple Jack and enjoy.
Ain't nothing but a thing.
Like you lost a kid.
Okay, I'm gonna go watch Tropic Thunder again.
God damn it.
It's so good. Okay. All right. This is me and Aaron signing off so that we can laugh in peace without embarrassing ourselves.
Bye, guys.
Bye.